Microphone check 1 2 1 2. So check it out. I had to kind of flip the settings on my microphone. So we're gonna see how this show sounds. It's like I can't really test the mic. I see an indicator, but I gotta add some stuff to get the proper adjustment. So if you're listening, you want to help the show out, make the show sound better. I need you to give me some feedback on, does my mic sound nice? Check 1. Does my mic sound nice? Check 2. So if you're listening and you want this to be a better show, somebody better let me know what the mic sound like so I can make the adjustments before we break it down. As y'all know, I don't get a lot of views, but I hit your ass like a brick. This ain't bubble gum over here. I'm slanging bricks. Conscious bricks. You clear. All right, Mr. Stone Gatherer. Welcome to the show. Thank you, sir, for that information. So being that we clear and the mic sound right, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give you a blue wrench for just participating. It doesn't matter even if you don't agree with me. You at least participated on the show. And thus. Now, I'm bringing back Larry. He's going to kind of run across some of what we've been talking about last few days. We're just going to keep prying at it. We're going to keep peeling off a layer until you guys are able to see the dark magic. I hope that these shows are beneficial to the few who tune in, because y'all might in your life in some kind of way express. So, really quick, this particular show connects a lot of information that I was covering on my show, where I took you all the way back to my pre-Garvey Years series. I did, all right, we appreciate you, Stone Gatherer, for gathering the stones for us and bringing them over here so we can turn them into heat rocks. And so since you, Stone Gatherer, been listening to the show, you know I came in the conscious community smacking. I was hitting with Booker T left, right hooks and knocking them out. I really didn't get any objection but a very few. I got vehemently attacked by the conscious community gatekeepers, the guard dogs of the Boule gatekeepers of the Skull and Bone. Woo, boy, I got some shit so hot. I will tell you, this audio is more than 2 hours long. I'm not sure, should I sit here and rock it out for 2 hours? I don't know. Can y'all handle 2 hours? I mean, you know, of course, I've already covered it. And I've decided that you need to be introduced to the next level of intricate thought. We operate critical thinking over here. We represent the calculation of critical thinking. Calculated risk takers. Don't move until you see it. It is a very simple concept. Now, I put a dividing line. This is something you need to do for yourself. I want you to get a pen and pad, not necessarily now for the show, but at some point in time in your life. And I want you to write down every black person that ever presents themselves to the community or into your vision, come across your path. And once you understand the totality of what they're about. They're going to go on one side or the other. On one side, at the top of the page, I want you to put conscious community, dark magic, boule, black atheism, socialism, dark magic, left hand path. What else? Warlocks, witches, Satanists, sinister, gangbangers, criminals. All of that is on the left hand side of the page. On the other side of the page, we'll have a couple of synonyms. Light bringers, Christians, real Christians, truth tellers. This side of the page is going to be real short. Original Pan-Africanist. Oh yeah, on the left-hand side of the page, over there with the witches and the warlocks and the consciousness and all of that, you need to add Zionist and Christian Zionist. Christian Zionists go on the left-hand path. Real Christians go on the right-hand path. Also put that right-hand path on the right side of the page. Now I know this is a lot of titles, but what you're going to do here is I'm going to teach you the skill and the ability to hear someone and in all of their conversation decide which side of the fence do they belong. Let's give up some hard ones. If you are not a truth teller, and I'm going to use Farrakhan since he's a very popular person, which side, stone gatherer, of our list does Farrakhan go on? Does he belong on the right-hand path or the left-hand path? Is he a gatekeeper or a truth teller? Which side? Stone gatherer. That's a hard one to make because Farrakhan does say some good things, but when your critical analysis skills are optimum, you will know what side your mama and your daddy go on. It doesn't matter. They could be on the left side and redeem themselves back to the right. Or they could be on the right and condemn themselves to the left. So be honest with your list. Because if you go forward in life, if you're unable to identify these people as you directly encounter them, you will find your path bumpy and your life difficult. A lot of times we fall in love with people on the left-hand path. And a lot of times we find ourselves attacking people on the right-hand path. Here's a slogan, since the Stone Gatherer is cooperating in our chat room today. The white man is the devil. Does that phrase go on the left side or the right side of our list? The white man is the devil. Which side of the list does that go on? Anybody? Anybody care to make this decision? The statement, the white man is the devil. Is that truth or is that deception? Is it true? I know it's a hard one. I know you sitting there, man. Oh, stone gatherer, you get another star. Because some white people are the devil. Just as some black people are the devil. So when you hear a person making the statement that the white man is the devil, as though the white people are one monolithic group, all with the same ideas. Oh yeah, Strange Magic, welcome back. Girl, where you been with your strange magic? You was my homie for a minute, Strange Magic. I was really gonna try to build a network with you, but you was into them dark arts and you was like, I don't know, Pitt, you too viper with it. I used to like listening to your channel, though. You still doing YouTube? I may have to contact you after the show. You out there in Texas, where it's greater? I see you. They ran you off, though, for a minute. Yeah, Strange Magic is an OG YouTuber from back in the day. You're going to like this show, Strange Magic. I'm going to play some audio, and I'm going to let the audio do the talking. Let me get you a blue wrench because you're an OG. I see, you don't have to like be in agreement with me. The blue wrench is just in the future. If I see you pop in and you ain't got that wrench, I know to immediately pay attention to who that might be because, that's how we do it. You can hit me up, Strange Magic, 99 light years gmail.com. Let me know how it's working out. How what's the agenda? Because you can't stay in a negative like space forever. You gotta turn it into a jackpot. But there's a lot of new technology. I don't see anybody using it either. Any of these YouTubers, they're not aware of it. I might bang their ass with it as soon as I throw out some sort of funding thing. Y'all need to be funding Pit Boss while you're bullshitting. Okay. So now, Strange Magic, you would often play in the dark magic lane. And I know it's fun, like when we young, we usually want to do crime. And we ain't got no problem running around with a little bit of crime. We like that type of shit. We go through that. So that's why I say you could crisscross this fence. You could sometimes be playing left-hand path. But when it starts to really affect your life to where your life is really obviously going downhill, if you continue to keep your allegiance to this left side of the fence, you are going to eliminate yourself. Today, it's going to be heavy. I hope you got 2 hours because you're going to need it to catch this. And because I'm sitting here wasting time talking, it's going to be 3 hours before I get into this information. We bring in Brother Larry back. Not the Brother Larry from the dark magic show of Sinetta TV. But this is how we're doing it. I'm neutral. There is no neutral. There is no neutral. When it's time to go to war, which side shall you fight? You can't stand there in the middle and go, I'm neutral. Nuh-uh. You're going to be eliminated. There is no neutral. It is one side or the other. You can't. Neutral is lukewarm. And the Bible says that if you are lukewarm, you go into the fire. You're worthless. So you can't be neutral. Neutral isn't critical thinking. But trust me, Strange Magic, I've heard you go in. You have the potential to be a light bearer. A lot of potential. You just won't accept certain truths. But I'm gonna get you there. Nonetheless. So in this particular show, we're gonna cover Boule magic in reference to all the people who undermined the Black agenda over 150 years. He's going to get into Kobe Bryant and the devilish things he's gotten himself into, which got him killed. These people work with dark magic, and dark magic, Strange Magic says that Team Righteousness sucks these days. I'd agree with you. I agree with you. The Team Righteous, you don't get no funding. You don't get to go on the Breakfast Club. Hollywood ain't paying attention to you. It sucks. It sucks. But you know, it's what it is. I mean, if it was all fun and roses, there wouldn't be no dark side. Wouldn't be no dark side. But trust me, Kobe Bryant, he lived a wonderful life. His life surely didn't suck, but he got sucked in by the succulence of Hollywood, dark magic, black magic, strange magic. He got sucked in. And we're going to break it down to you on this show today, how he got sucked in. They got him. We're going to deal with what the term black magic is, or Black Mamba, which was his signature logo. We're going to get dastardly evil. We're going to bring the light to evil. So Strange Magic, I understand, girl. I'm from the hood. I'm from California, where we operate strange magic all day long. But you know what they say. Tupac said he was a young nigga doing dumb shit. And that's why it sucks. Because you can't do the dumb shit no more. I get it. But if your bankroll's smaller than mine, what the fuck is you talking about it suck for? And I don't know how much money you got. I'm just saying, my bankroll ain't that big. And if your shit's smaller than mine, and you on the dark side, you're the bums of the dark side. Most of the people on the dark side getting that bread. Big bags of money. 50-cent checks around here. So if you're going to be on the dark side and you running around with primer spots on your vehicle, you better get off the dark side. You got to be riding around on some Cardi B if you're going to be over there. Look, you threw that little logo. I know what that logo is, the crescent moon and the circle with the half circle. I see you. You know I know. Where Lex? Lex is dead, I hope. Ain't Lex dead? I think Lex is dead. I think he died. He suffocated on a blow-up doll, choked out by a gold chain. That's what happened to Lex. He died. Anyways, time to get to the show and hit you with that real deal. So that from this point forward, Pig Boss gonna be quiet. Y'all can act a fool.
Medicine through the prison industrial complex, through the sports and entertainment industry, through the political realm in Washington, D.C. So then the Boule Secrets decided that logo is also interconnected to free to the Freemasonry conspiracy of not just the Scottish Rite, absolutely, but they are Prince Hall Masons. Allow me to say that again, man of God. The Boule Secret Society are Prince Hall Masons.
I was going to ask you that. Okay, so they are associated with Prince Hall.
Yes, every one of them are 32nd and 33rd degree Masons. But no Black person, male or female, is allowed to be a 33rd and 1/2 degree. That is only designed for non-Black people. And if I got time today, I would definitely go back to that. So then the Boule Secret Society, who are the offspring of Baphomet, the Boule's youngest brother or younger brother is called the Skulls and Bones. Okay, let me say this. This is heavy. So the Skulls and Bones that was created before the Boule, but according to Greek mythology, the Skulls and Bones is the younger brother of the Boule, which the Boule is tasked by the system of Baphomet to protect not only Baphomet, but the younger brother of the Boule, the Skulls and Bones. Because Black people, because of segregation, Brother Duke, were prohibited to join the Skulls and Bones Secret Society out of Yale University.
Right.
So then the Boule logo, a half a man, half a woman, has its right hand on what we call an urn, okay? Capital URN, which they keep the ashes of dead people. That is a sign, as we're breaking down the Boule Secret Society, they are the Black gatekeepers of the global Luciferian order today. So that right hand on an urn, inside of that represents the ashes of the Black diaspora. So in other words, they're keeping the masses in a state of mental and psychological death so that they can be, the Boules can be the protectors of the crab barrel. You see, so then people like Barack Obama, Michael Obama, people like Reverend Al, vitamin B deficient Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, they are chosen, not elected, they are selected to oversee the affairs of the Black diaspora, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. They are in charge to keep the masses of Black Americans in check. So if one tries to crawl out of the barrel, you see, they would definitely be put back in the barrel. So the question is, who are the barrel owners? The barrel owners are the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the Warburgs, okay, the Warburg family today, who their history goes back to the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913. This is heavy. So then the Boule Secret Society, they are the watchdog. And I hate to say it, they are portrayed as the pit bull to protect the house of Baphomet, called the Global Luciferian Illuminati System. Now, only a few at the top can become members of what we call Phi Beta Kappa and Kappa Beta Phi. Phi Beta Kappa is a Zionist created entity. They represent the educational system of the Boule. That's Phi Beta Kappa. But Kappa Beta Phi, which is also an extension of the Boule and a Zionist created entity that was founded in 1776. Kappa Beta Phi represents the Wall Street faction of the Boule that's connected to the father of the Boule, Baphomet. So then, this is heavy. So as we break this down in such a meticulous order, So they're born in 1904. So then Dr. Henry McKee Menton and 8 other associates gave birth to what we call the Pan-Hellenic Divine Nine. There are 9 Greek Black secret societies that were birthed from the original 9 members of the Black Boule Secret Society, born in May 15th, 1904, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's Alpha Phi Alpha in 1906. That's Kappa Alpha Psi in 1911. That's Omega Psi Phi in 1911. That's Phi Beta Sigma in 1914. That's Lambda Phi Theta in 1963. That's Alpha Kappa Alpha in 1908. That's Delta Sigma Theta in 1913. That's Zeta Phi Beta in 1920. And last, the Sigma Gamma Rho Secret Society in 1922. So each of these 9 Black Greek letter secret societies, brother, are birthed from the original 9 fathers of the Boule Secret Society, who are designed by the global elite to protect the Knights of the Round Table. Each Boule is designed, all right, and tasked by the system to protect a Rothschild Knight, a Rockefeller Knight, a Warburg Knight, a Oppenheimer Knight, okay, a George Soros Knight. Each Knight has a Boule system, whether that Boule is from the legal system, whether that Boule is from the sports and entertainment system, whether that Boule is from the medical in the educational system. So then darkness is so sophisticated, my friend. So then as we continue to teach about the Boule Secret Society, they are the gatekeepers of the global Illuminati system. Now, it's interesting, man of God, that the term Boule also means they are the advisors to the king. The king is the global system of Baphomet. Now, the term Boule also goes back to the Greek governmental structure, going back to Aristotle, going back to Plato and Socrates. So the Boule's systems, going back to the time of these great philosophers, represented the lower level, the bottom level. Now I want you to catch it, the bottom level, not the top level, but the bottom level of the Greek government today, who is tasked to be the guards, the caretakers of the order. They are not allowed to know the secrets of the order. And this is the reason why Kobe Bryant was assassinated. I'm going to come back to him, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because the more money that a Black person gets in Hollywood, there is another level of an initiation process that he or she must go by. And I believe what got Kobe Bryant dead was because he was refusing, okay? I'm going to say a term that is unknown maybe in white America, but is known in Black America. And that term is buck breaking, capital B-U-C-K. Now, buck breaking is a part of the initiation process for each man and woman. They must be buck broken. Now, that term goes back to the 1600s, where during this the time of slavery, there was a slave owner by the name of Willie Lynch. And this is where we get the term lynching.
Oh.
So he's also the father of Lynchburg, Virginia. So Willie Lynch created, okay, the art of buck breaking, to strip down a male or female slave, tie them down chest first to the ground, and the slave master, the system or Baphomet, will sexually bless that man or woman, and thereby make them a boule. So that's the initiation process.
Oh, see, I know about that, but I didn't know the name. And okay.
So then, to get into one of these divine Black letter Greek secret societies, and even Kappa Beta Phi and Phi Beta Kappa, every person has to be sexually initiated. A man having sex with a man inside of a coffin, and a woman having sex with a woman inside of a coffin. Why? Because they had to be buck broken in order for Baphomet to control them. So Kobe Bryant did not want to be buck broken anymore. I'll come back to Kobe in a minute.
Now, is this why someone in the Black community are talking about I refuse to wear the dress?
Yes.
They're dressed up as a woman, and they're made to do that, whether in mockery or whatever. I had a friend that just a Facebook friend that he's unfortunately going back to the industry to feed his family. And he says, but don't worry, I won't wear the dress.
Exactly. You see, man of God, this is the reason why many in Black Hollywood, they are involved in dark arts. Mm-hmm. They're involved in what we call spirit cooking. Okay.
Yeah.
Where they are connected like Jay-Z or Gay-Z and his witch of a wife, Beyonce. They're connected to this woman called Marina Abramovich.
Marina Abramovich. Do you know where she lives?
I believe in Los Angeles, but also she's got homes all throughout Western Europe. Okay.
20 miles from me.
Wow.
I've gone by her house several times.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she has her country home here in Columbia County. 20 miles from me, probably like a half an hour from me. I've been by it on Route 66.
Look at that.
Now, the last time when I first revealed this, I had my car windows smashed in, and I was wondering if it was associated. But
see, I guarantee you it is. See, that is interesting. So, so the boule, and thank you for the information, man of God. So see, you're taking me to the next level. So the boules have to be sexually initiated into the order in order to protect the order. They have to be initiated in the order in order to protect the order. Mm-hmm. This goes back during the time of the prophet Moses in the book of the Exodus. Now, if people understand that time during the prophet Moses in the book of Exodus, all right, and we're talking about going back anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 years, if any Egyptian wanted to see Pharaoh, wanted to have access to the system of Pharaoh or Baphomet, a man would have to have sex with a local magician, or a woman would have to have sex with a local female magician. Why? Because that was the spiritual price to get access to power. So the Bible says there was nothing new under the sun. So the boules not only go back to 1904, but the very schematical structure of the boule goes back thousands of years. Again, now let's continue to dissect this. The Boule Secret Society, they are the Black gatekeepers of the global Luciferian system. Okay. Now, Louis Farrakhan is a Boule. He's a part of Omega Psi Phi. The reason why they have not assassinated him because he is a part of the system. The late Dick Gregory was a Boule, a part of Alpha Phi Alpha. There is a book called The Divine Nine, okay? The National Pan-Hellenic Council, right? The History of Sigma Pi Phi by Dr. Charles H. Wesley, which is a very expensive book. And that's interesting. Anything that's true, they jack up the price. So then Dr. Charles Wesley, his book of the History of Sigma Pi Phi. So Boule also means Sigma Pi 5. Okay. Now, numerically, according to the Jewish gematria, the term sigma pi 5 has a numerical sequence of 666.
Oh, no
now,
way.
Yes.
The Kabbalah. Okay.
Yes, they are heavily connected.
Why does it always
the
go back to that?
system.
Why does it always? It goes back to all mysticism, but the Kabbalah especially comes up, and wow.
Oh my! It always comes up because when people talk about the Kabbalistical system, it's not it's Jewish mysticism, but it's also Khazarian mysticism. Now, what I'm about to say, I am not anti-Semitic, okay? And as we are dissecting the Boule Secret Society, the black gatekeepers of the global Luciferian system, every Hebrew is a Jew, but not every Jew is a Hebrew. The Jews today, and I love them, they're my brothers and sisters, all right? But the Jews today are not the original Hebrews, right? So the term Hebrew means he rules. It means origination. Jew means religion, okay? Mm-hmm. So Jews today, they are Jews by religion.
Yes.
But not Hebrew by birth.
Right.
Why? Because the Jews today are of Khazarian Turkish blood who overtook the Hebrews, okay? We're talking about going back to between the book of Malachi and the book of St. Matthew, which we call the silent 400 years, mm-hmm. where the Khazarians plundered Jerusalem, overtook the system of the true Jews, who were people of color. And I'm not making this a black and white thing. So then the Kabbalistical teachings are interconnected to Prince Hall Masonry, which is connected to the Divine Nine of the Pan-Hellenic Council, who are overseen, my friend, by the Boule Secret Society. So then, the Boules are the architects of what I call chaos theory. In other words, they create chaos in order to bring about an order to the order of their masters, the Baphomet.
All right, so yeah. Chaos magic, that's part of them?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Now, okay. So order out of chaos. That's attributed to the Freemasons, but that's what they uphold?
That's what they uphold. It's order out of chaos. That they represent, and I'm not comparing black people to animals, but according through the eyes of the system, the what I call the Tamanat 10, that's a term that was given by John D. Rockefeller to W.E.B. Du Bois, that I'm going to hire you to recruit 1 out of 10 African-American scholars that would protect me in the system from being exposed. But you're going to do this through chaos theory and chaos magic.
Wow.
In other words, through chaos, it brings about in order. So we cause chaos here in order to cover up something over here. Then we cause chaos there to cover something over what's going on in China. So it's, in other words, the Boule Secret Society, man of God, this is heavy. They are masters of what we call chaos theory, or what they call, in other words, they are masters that create chaos and catastrophe in order to bring about a reaction from black people. See, they know black people are going to react in such a way that they would be beholden to the system. So, man of God, you're exactly right. They are a part of the chaos magic. They are a part of what we call the chaos theory. In other words, they use chaos. They use assassination, like Kobe Bryant. They use assassination, like Ron Brown. Remember Ron Brown back in 1996?
Yeah.
The part of the Clinton administration. His plane went down in Croatia. right? And they found his skull, and there was a bullet hole in his skull. In other words, when Baphomet no longer needs you, you would be sacrificed. And this is what we call satanic sacrifice. Go ahead, brother.
No, that's great. Now it seems that it's a deliberate suppression of the Black community to arise in them a false pride and a false empowerment to basically keep the divide.
You hit another nerve with me, man of God. They bring about what we call Black liberation theology.
Right.
Now, see, Black liberation theology is not rooted in the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, bring it on.
Black liberation theology is rooted in the Soviet Union. And this is going back to the late 1930s, right? I was on another show a couple of weeks ago where I dissected that Black liberation theology was a creation from the KGB in 1941.
Oh, really?
Where the KGB, under the guidance of Joseph Stalin, all right, who has Jewish blood in him, were sent to Central and South America to bring about liberation theology amongst the society of the Jesuits. So Black Jesuits and Latino Jesuits are the proponents of both liberation and Black liberation theology to bring about a state of chaos theory in the Black diaspora. So in other words, you hit a nerve with me, man of God, what you just said. It is to bring a reactionary thought to Black people. In other words, it's boulets that create pain. And not to get off course here, well, you got me excited today. Now, remember back in 2012, the murder of Trayvon Martin, or the death of Trayvon Martin. His family was represented by a firm, of boulets, okay? Benjamin Crump is a high-ranking boulet. Benjamin Crump, all right, in his law firm are boulet attorneys that were assigned by the system of Baphomet not to bring justice or the truth concerning the death of Trayvon Martin, but to give birth to the seed of confusion.
Yes.
That would give rise to anger in Black people, bring about a psyop of ignorance. And I'm not calling Black people ignorance here today, where I feel the anointing. So then, Benjamin Crump is a boulet. Jesse Jackson and Louis Farrakhan, and LeBron James. Kobe Bryant was not only a boulet, but Kobe was a part of the Phi Lima Secret Society and the Theosophical Secret Society of Aleister Crowley.
He was, huh?
Yes.
I just did a show on that last week about Theosophy. Oh my gosh.
Yes. And in other words, Kobe Bryant tapped into what we call the dark arts. Okay, when his moniker was Black Mamba. So the Black Mamba is a high-level creature, okay, in the dark seeker societies within Baphomet. And often Kobe Bryant would use these words muse or muse cage. He talks about this light muse cage and dark muse cage. Well, the term muse is a name of a demon in both Greek and Roman demonology. Kobe Bryant knew this. And so this is the reason why they took him out for two reasons. Not to get away from the history and the origins of the Black Boule Secret Society. When you read some of Kobe's books, okay, again, he was not allowed to reveal the secrets of the Boule that were birthed into the Boule by their father, Baphomet. Now, it's interesting that one of his books is called the Wisenard series. Now, there's a term nard in the Bible. It's called spikenard. Spike means the anointing. Nard means a thicker or more powerful insight of the anointing. That's from Christ. But anything that God has, man of God, the devil has a counterfeit.
Mm-hmm.
But wise nard means, wise in Persian means war. Nard means lock, to lock in. This is where we get the term warlock.
Oh.
So a warlock is a male witch, and a female witch is a male warlock. That goes back to the insignia of the Black Boule Secret Society. Half male, half female. The transgender agenda.
And the principle, the contract duality, principle of duality.
Ooh, that's it. Say that again, man of God. Oh my God.
The principle, well, in occultism, it's a divine unity. When you take the two diverse contrasts, red, blue, black, white, good, evil, night, dark, light, all the contrasts, and you bring them together, you fuse together the contrast and you form a unity. And it's the unity of duality. And it's a high potent energy magic.
That's it. And see, what you just said, it really hit another nerve with me as we're talking about the Black Boule Greek Society. Now, I believe, man of God, that one of the reasons why that not just Barack Obama and Reverend Jackson and all of these elitists and Jay-Z are a part of this, they knew that Kobe Bryant was to be sacrificed on the 26th of January, 2016. Now, the day before LeBron James breaks Kobe's record. He passes Kobe on the third all-time list. And to your listeners, I'm going to begin a new series. I'm a weekly guest on Crowdsource the Truth with host Jason Goodman. And this Tuesday, I'm going to be teaching a 3-part series. And I want to do this with you, man of God, entitled Kobe Bryant, all right? The Luciferian Project Completed. So one of his books, not just the Wise Nard series, his other book is called Epocha, capital E-P-O-C-A, The Tree of Ecrof, capital E-C-R-O-F. Now, he wrote this book with the help of a high-ranking witch by the name of Ivy Clare. You see, Kobe was in some dark, deep stuff, man, and that he was not supposed to reveal. So the term Epocha, if you spell it backwards from right to left, because Hebrew is written from right to left, then you get the word of Kobe or Kope with the E sound, the capital A-C-O-P-E. Now, it's interesting, man of God, there is a secret society by the name of Akope.
Oh,
it is
wow.
a feminine secret society.
Oh.
Yes, from Latin America. And this gets really deep here. And so it's very interesting that this Apoca also means epic. So what Kobe is doing, he is revealing dark arts that he's not supposed to be revealing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, he's revealing dark arts that he is not commissioned to reveal. So then, as we continue concerning Kobe's book, this Epocha, now Ecrof, spelled backwards, reveals the word force. So these Apoca or Apope, capital A-C-O-P-E, is a female lesbian secret society out of Latin America.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So why is Kobe revealing this? He's revealing this because he wants to be on the level of a billionaire. And let me explain that. You see, in Black Hollywood, in order for a Black person to be on that level, to go from millionaire to billionaire, they had to give up something a sacrifice, whether it's a wife or a child or a mother. Kobe Bryant was unwilling to do that. Okay. So then we have to understand that this book here is decrypting a high level state of the dark arts, what Kobe Bryant is revealing. And he's not sanctioned by the system of Baphomet in Hollywood to reveal that. He reveals that anyway, not just in the Wisnard series, but he reveals this, man of God, in the series of this Apoka, which when you spell it backwards is a Kope, a high-ranking dark secret society out of Latin America. Why Latin America? Because Kobe's wife is Latin American. Wow. She's Spanish. So then as we connect these dots, so this Apoka or Acope, capital A-C-O-P-E, okay, reveals the dark arts of how a child can tap into what they call the consciousness of the mind of Lucifer. Now, when we look at the term Lucifer, or I didn't mean to go down this road, but you're tapping some spiritual nerves in me, man of God. So when we say Lucifer or Lucifer, it means to decipher. And this is what the Boulaists do. They decipher darkness. They are the protectors of darkness. So Lucifer or Lucifer, who is also Epoka or Epic, that's a high level warlock that allows children to tap into the darkness that goes back to Genesis chapter 6, where the Nephilims injected their seed of darkness, which opens portals for the children of men to tap into Epoka or these Okape, okay, which is a secret society of female Latino women. This is going back to the 1800s.
Oh, brother, you're going deep now.
Oh my God, man of God. You know what? Again, this is so heavy here. So when God was revealing this to me, and I gotta say this, man of God, it startled me because it's on another level that I never seen before. So my question is, as we're talking about the Boule Black Secret Society, the gatekeepers, right? The gatekeepers of the order. Why is Kobe Bryant revealing the dark arts of Epoka? Because now he is resisting against the system. He's warned now, okay? Then he writes another book called The Legacy and the Queen, okay? And that is shaped like the womb of a woman. Now, The Legacy and the Queen is a teaching that goes back to Genesis 6, okay? The Nephilim blood injects into the daughters of men. How does Kobe know this? Because he was a part of the Theosophical Society, the Thelema Secret Society, and he was a high-ranking 33rd degree Mason. So he was not allowed to reveal the secrets of the Wisnard series, the Epoka, the Tree of Ekroth, or the Tree of Force. This is where we get the term, may the force be with you, or may the cognitive mind of Lucifer be with you. And he also writes about Legacy Queen. So then, his nickname is the Black Mamba. Now, his insignia of a part of his corporation is of the Mamba Academy, okay? The Mamba Academy's logo is the capital M, all right, with a circle of a serpent going around the letter M, chewing on its own tail.
Oh, the Ouroboros.
The oracle
Yes.
is amen. So that in other words, what Kobe is saying, he is revealing a high-ranking demonic source of muse cage, whether it's a light, illuminato, to illuminate. This is where we get the term illuminato, NATO, the NATO summit, and also the dark arts of muse cage from the darkness. So then the more money one makes, the deeper of the darkness that they must be initiated in. This is the reason, partly of the reason why, and forgive me for getting off into this Kobe situation.
No, this is good.
But, oh man. But the other reason why Kobe died, he had multiple lawsuits against some of the biggest pharmaceutical companies on this planet. Now, there's a pharmaceutical company by the name of the High Tech Pharmaceuticals. They're out of Amityville, New York, on Long Island. So then Kobe was saying that they took his moniker, the name Black Mamba, okay? That they took the term or the moniker Black Mamba, all right? But that was not the only reason why that Kobe was suing High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Now, the question is, who owns High Tech Pharmaceuticals? A company by the name of the Akorn Incorporated, capital A-K-O-R-N. Now, the Akorn Incorporated is also out of New York, but they are owned by a billionaire by the name of John Kapoor, capital K-A-P-O-O-R. Now, John Kapoor is heavily connected, man of God, to the Central Intelligence Agency, to MI6, and to the Israeli Mossad.
Oh, boy.
It gets deeper, man of God. So notice, Kobe Bryant is a high-ranking Boule, a part of the Theosophical Society and the Thelema Secret Society, where now his spirit, the spirit of Kobe Bryant, was open like a wound, right? The legacy of the queen, in order for the snake, the python called Black Mama, to enter into him in order for that entity to be a part of his personality.
I just pulled up an article, the NBA. Okay, listen to this.
Yes.
It says the purpose of becoming, this is Kobe's, this is a statement about Kobe. The purpose of becoming Black Mamba was for Bryant to have an alter ego. It was a chance to become an assassin on the court.
Oh my God. Can you repeat that again?
This is in the NBA from CBS, I guess it is. The purpose of becoming the Black Mamba was for Bryant to have an alter ego. Just what you just said. I just read it as you said it. It was a chance for Bryant to become an assassin on the court.
See, in other words, the natural nature of a black python. You see, the Black Mamba is a python. So the term, this is where we get the term divination. Because in Acts 16:16, when St. Paul was faced against a witch, all right, she was part warlock and part witch, okay? According to Josephus, the New Testament historian, that in Acts 16:16, St. Paul had noticed the entity called Black Mamba or divination. So the term python or pythion, and there was a female secret society during the time of St. Paul the Apostle called the Pythoness.
Yep.
Pythoness. So then the Pythoness are connected today to Beyonce. The first three letters of Beyonce is Bey, capital B-E-Y. which is also one of the names of the female goddesses in Greek mythology and demonology, going back to Acts 16:16. So that term, divination, the first four letters reveal the word divi, from whence we get the term diva. And to the women out there who are listening, stop calling yourself diva. Diva, divination. That is rooted in witchcraft and warlockism. That was the entity, the same entity that was in her was in Colby, to bring about an altered state of what we call telekinesis, okay? In other words, he allowed a high-ranking principality to overtake his personality to gain power and influence. So then, Kobe, when you spell it backwards, it reveals the word Ebok, okay? Capital E-K-O-B, which is a high-ranking demon in Chinese demonology, okay? Ebok was the demon of altered personalities.
Oh, wow.
So then that was a demon of altered personalities. So Kobe Bryant's original real personality was extracted for the personality that was not only in that woman in Acts 16:16, but was also connected to Ebok, a high-ranking principality in Chinese mythology and demonology. So one of the languages that Kobe knew was Mandarin, a dialect of Chinese. So then Kobe Bryant was not just an ordinary jock. He knew the dark arts. He was a 33rd degree Mason. And he was forbidden, my friend, to reveal the dark arts of the global Luciferian system. So, and can you do me a favor? And I'm getting a lot of emails coming in. And can you reveal what you just revealed a few minutes ago about Kobe's altered state and his personality? Because you're blowing people's minds. Can you reveal that link again, man of God, or that information?
Yeah, let me find. I just came off of it. Let's see. I'd have to find it. Hold on a second. I actually just typed in Black Mamba, and that article came up.
Wow.
Let's see what it says here.
And so as you're finding, and again, and thank you to all of your listeners, and a lot of our listeners are just so blown away by what you just said a couple of minutes ago. So then, as we talk about the Boule Seeker Society, the Black gatekeepers of the global Luciferian system, they are the protectors of the order, okay? In other words, they're also the protectors, okay, of the what we call the Unum Sanctum, capital UNAM Sanctum, capital SANCTUM, that's connected to the Vatican. And that's another topic for another day. This goes so high, man of God. So then they are also given, each Boule is also given a name of a demon in Greek demonology and mythology. So the moniker name that Kobe was given was Black Mamba, but he was also given the word Thoth, capital THOTH.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He was teaching his children the philosophy of thought. In other words, to tap into the muse cage. Now, muse cage means that the demon of altered states or telekinesis is caged within the cage of the mind of that person that's trying to tap into that cage. This is heavy, man. I never intended to go down this route, but what you, I think
I got the quote. I got the quote.
Oh, yeah.
It says, well, first of all, Bryant says the length, the snake, the bite, the strike, the temperament. Let me look into this. Let me look this up. and I looked it up, and yeah, that's me. Then it says the purpose of becoming the Black Mamba was for Bryant to have an alter ego. It was a chance for Bryant to become an assassin on the court. I had to separate myself, Kobe said. I felt like there was too many things coming. I was becoming confused. I had to organize things and create the Black Mamba.
Oh my God. In other words, he became the Black Mamba.
Just like Beyonce became Sasha Fierce.
Oh my God. Look at that. You see, this is what happens to, not just to Black Hollywood, any person wanting to gain that type of dimensionality, they have to sacrifice something. So then with Kobe being in this juxtaposed position, number one, he's revealing the dark arts through his books, right? The Wisnard series, all right? The series of Apocrypha. He's not supposed to be revealing the Wisnard series, being the Epocha, the tree of Ekroth, or the counterfeit tree of life. You see, as Christ is the true tree of life, there's a counterfeit tree of life that is Lucifer. Now, Lucifer, his acronym, and this is connected to the Boule. What is the first letter of Lucifer? L. What is the first letter of Satan? S. What is the first letter of devil? D. There's your LSD. So LSD, that was created by the Central Intelligence Agency, not to get away from Boule, right. In 1953, a Zionist by the name of Sidney Gottlieb created the chemical compound of what we call LSD. Lucifer, Satan, satanic, and devilish. So that's the acronym for LSD. It goes back to Lucifer, Satan, devil. So then Kobe taps into the personality of the throne of darkness. Oh my God, let me say this again. Kobe tapped into the personality of the throne of darkness. And because of that, he was left unprotected by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that we serve, the Lord Jesus Christ. So to all of Americans who are listening to this broadcast and those around the world, you have to be careful about becoming a superstar, because anytime you tap into that $1 million, $1 billion club, okay, there is a price that one has to pay. So not only is he the Black Mamba in thought, but according to the Pythagorean philosophy, as a matter of fact, Kobe knew the doctrine of the Pythagoreans. He knew about the psychology of Osiris. Okay, so then he, Kobe Bryant, or Enoch, becomes weaponized through darkness. And this is the reason why that the global elite knew that he had to die. Let me say this again. There is a virus that's going around the world, not to get away from the Boule Seeker Society, but the term, the coronavirus. And I don't mean to get into that, man of God, but I'm just being led of the Lord, really, to get into that phase of what is happening in the world today. So we're talking about the term coronavirus, and to everyone, keep a mental paperclip on the Black Seeker Society of the Boules, who are the gatekeepers of the global Luciferian order. Now, the term coronavirus, or the coronavirus, coronas means chronology, okay? When we talk about chronology. Now, according to Greek mythology and demonology, there is a high-ranking warlock called Cronus, right. Capital C-H-R-O-N-O-S. And this is where we get the term chronology or timeology. And so Kobe is connected to the god Cronus. who was part serpent, part man. He was a part of the Greek Hellenic secret society, who was part human and part serpent. I want you to get this, man, because I did not mean to go down this route, and I apologize to you. But you,
oh, don't apologize. This is going someplace.
Oh, exactly. So the excuse me about this. So the Cronus virus is not by accident, man of God. So then, Kobe Bryant's anatomy, his blood, had been contaminated through the knowledge of the dark arts, through his books, Wisnard, Epocha, and Queen. You have to interconnect all three books. Wisnard is the power structure of Epocha, okay, or the force of the tree of life, which gives birth to the legacy of the queen. Who's the queen? Gigi, his daughter. How old was she when she died? 13.
13.
So as we go back to the year 2013, Kobe was asked by a high-ranking Zionist, a man by the name of Jeffrey Feinberg, who is a multi-billionaire in Los Angeles, heavily connected to George Soros. He was the financial protege of George Soros. Jeffrey Feinberg was. And Jeffrey Feinberg has given billions of dollars to the National Basketball Association for different charities. 2013, now there's 13, the first 13 degrees of the Illuminati Masonic Order. On the back of the dollar bill, there are 13 levels of the pyramid going up to the all-seeing eye of Ra or Ptah. So going back to 2013, Kobe was asked by Jeffrey Feinberg to attend his son, Michael Feinberg's 13th birthday. All right, to go to be a witness of a bar mitzvah. Kobe declined. Kobe sent one of his teammates, okay, to the 13th, the age of 13 for the son of Jeffrey Feinberg, Michael Feinberg. Now, Jeffrey Feinberg is connected to George Soros in the Soros financial empire here in New York City. So Kobe rejects the invitation, okay, and sends one of his teammates, okay? So he sends one of his teammates. So then when Gigi turns 13, you see, everything's by number, man.
Absolutely. Numerology, magic, rituals.
Oh, my God. Absolutely.
We talk about it all the time. Yep.
Oh, my God. The dark arts, Theosophical Secret Society. We talked about the Boule, the Thelema Secret Society. We talk about the dark arts, okay? We talk about Prince Hall Masons, which Kobe was. We talked about Pythagorean darkness, all right? Osiris. All of these dark arts going back to Kobe Bryant.
And you made a link to his Latin wife. Was she part of Santeria, probably?
She was, yeah, her entire parents were a part of Santeria, which is actually one of the most powerful Spanish Latino secret societies on this planet. She was heavily involved in that. Okay. And so at the time in 2000, Kobe was actually engaged to an African American girl, but was instructed to leave her for Vanessa. So their wives are chosen, men of God, or their husbands are chosen. Yeah. And I don't mean to go all over the map, but I'm trying to connect everything back to the Boule Secret Society. So then Kobe Bryant was in a high level of what we call the dark arts. Now, a part of not what we call, what is China is experiencing, okay, the coronavirus. Now, when we talk about the coronavirus, which is so demonic, man of God, I did some studies in preparing for you today. When we connect the term coronavirus, is actually a Romanian word, okay? And this Romanian word is Coro, capital C-O-R-O, then the word nin, capital N-E-N. Now, koronin means to inject in order to cripple. Oh my God. So it means injection in order to cripple, to ruin, or it also means plague. And so then the coronavirus is actually a creation, okay? Whether it's from the CIA, whether it's from MI6, whether it is from Israeli Mossad or even Chinese intelligence, for what? To destabilize China at a deeper level. So this term coronavirus, okay? Now, the term here, virus, also means in vitro, capital I-N-V-I-T-R-O. Now, if we take the word in vitro and spell that backwards, we're still talking about the Boule Secret Society. In vitro reveals the name of another Greek god in Greek mythology, okay? Ortivni, or Ortivni with the I silent, capital O-R-T-I-V-N-I, which means chaos that brings disease, or the order of disease. So these demons at a high level, a part of the Baphomet Secret Society, create through biological warfare, and they name these viruses after the names of historical demons. So, you know, man of God, 95% of the medications that people take around the world are named after some type of demon in some type of mythology. I kid you not.
Yeah, you know.
Yes. So then when you take the word Prozac, okay, that's a name of a high-ranking demon in Roman and Persian mythology. That's another topic for another day. So this coronavirus, Cora, nin, means to inject, to cripple, or to ruin, okay? So corona. So it's more interesting and it's powerful. And I thank God for you, man of God, because you are tapping me to go into another level in the Lord Jesus Christ as we're exposing darkness. Now, somebody may say, Bishop, listen, coronavirus, I get it. Now, I'm getting emails now. How is the coronavirus connected to both the Vatican and the Boule?
I got it right here. I got one portion right here. I just looked up corona in the dictionary, and it says the upper portion of the body part referring to the skull and the tooth. Skull and bones.
Skull and bones. Oh my God. And the term, and we look at the term Vatican and spell it backwards from right to left, because Hebrew is written from right to left. Then we get a Khazarian word, Nasitav, capital N-A-C-I, then Tav, capital T-A-V. Now, Nasi, capital N-A-C-I, is a very powerful interpretation, my friend. Nisi means I was born, and Tav, T-A-V, which is the 22nd letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Tav means the now. So I was born for the now. I am born for this present. In other words, so then the Vatican, the very word of the Vatican, spelled backwards. And why do I spell words backwards? Because the truth is encoded within words. So the Vatican spelled backwards.
And Satanism, just so people refer to, Satanism often does a backwards masking by putting words and referring to another term backwards. So they use the reversal.
The reversal is inversion.
Right.
And my God, and not only does it mean Nisi, I was born taught for this time, but also in Hebrew, Nasi also means I was birthed, and Tav means science and technology. Wait a minute now. So then Vatican spelled backwards means I was born in science and technology, the coronavirus. So as we connect Boule, Baphomet, part of the Vatican, and the coronavirus. See, and I'm not bashing the Catholic Church.
Well, let me just, can I make a reference here to the Catholic militants, the Jesuits arms for the Knights of Malta. The Jesuits were known to be assassins. And how did they assassin? They used poisons. This is sorcery. And so you have the viruses, which is putting toxins, is sorcery. And that's associated with the Jesuits' tactic. So that could be connected.
Oh my God. What you just, and then again, when we study about the Jesuit Secret Society, all right, going back to 1540, Ignatius of Loyola, okay? This is where we get to turn the name of the university in Los Angeles, Loyola Marymount. Ignatius was a high-ranking Mason who was one of the 7 founding fathers of the Jesuits. So every proponent of both liberation theology and Black liberation theology are Jesuits, are part of the order. So the Boules, who are not just in education and science, politics, in the sports and industry complex, they are designed and assigned to protect the system, the same system that enslaved them for 430 years. So this Vatican, and not to get off topic, now somebody may say, well, what does the Vatican have to do with Boule and the coronavirus? So Vatican spelled backwards, Nasi, I was born, Tav, science and technology. And so, and one day I want to come back on the show, man of God, to talk about the Unum Sanctum back in 1302 through Pope Boniface VIII, where he created what we call the birth certificate. And every number on every birth certificate, it means that you and I, who were born, okay, when our mothers and fathers signed that birth certificate, our soul was assigned and certified as a bill of lading and an invoice to the Vatican system.
Yes.
Oh my, that's another level altogether. And you and I are free in the blood, through the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. So every child, this is going back to the Boules protect the entire Luciferian system. Every child that is born is issued a birth certificate. That's Unum Sanctum in 1302, where Pope Boniface VIII said that every birth certificate or certification, in the term certification also means ta, not just T-A-V in Hebrew, but T-A-U, okay, in the Khazarian Turkish interpretation of what we call Unum Sanctum, or what we call Nasi Tav, or Vatican spelled backwards. Another interpretation for Vatican is in the Latin word Vaticanus, which means anal. I don't want to get into that. This is deep darkness, man of God. So then the coronavirus, all right, all of the dark arts, going back to Kobe, going back to the Boule Secret Society, it's all protected by the global Luciferian system. So then as we go back to the Boules, man, and I do apologize, man of God, for going deeper into Kobe and the coronavirus.
No, don't apologize. Just
oh my God.
Go with it. Run with it.
This is so heavy because it all interconnects. Now, the Boule Secret Society, they protect the 1% of the 9 knights of the Round Table, the 9 families of the 13 families that control 99% of the world's wealth. They control 99% of the world's wealth. So then the Boules protect the 1%, while they keep the 99% in check. Let me say this again. The Boulets protect the 1%, and they protect the 1% by keeping in check the 99% of not just Black people, Brother Jim, but all ethnicities around the world. They are the watchdog. They are the gargoyles.
Now, why do they do this? What do they get?
They get fame. They get the scraps from the table of the Knights of the Round Table. They don't get the meat. They get the scraps.
So they get the Faustian bargain. The Faustian bargain is a term meaning they have sold their soul in exchange for power, popularity, status.
That's what it is. They sold their soul, right, for power, for financial influence. Will Smith, all of them had to go through this sexual initiation rite. Even the rap game, every rapper. There's a rapper friend of mine who is now a Christian here in New York City. He said that, Bishop, every rapper has to be buck broken.
And I've heard that, yes.
Yes, they have to go through this sexual initiation rite where it is videotaped so that Baphomet can have a foot over them.
Right, I've heard that.
So the rappers, 50 Cent, who call themselves 50 Cent, quarter, nickel, penny. I don't care if it's Ice Cube, Ice-T, Ice Trey, Little Dog, Snoop Dogg. So then Black people have a slavery psychosis. They are at the bottom of the barrel, and the ones that are chosen to oversee the barrel, the Obamas, Eric Holder, Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James, right? Jesse Jackson, they are the protectors of not just the barrel, but they protect the masters of who are the barrel owners.
Now, you remember Jay-Z had that, they kind of put him in check because he was bragging that he was of the Illuminati. And by the way, he's an Aleister Crowleyan, has do as thou wilt on his shirt. He had access, I guess, unlimited access to the White House and was bragging about his status.
You see, and again, he is a sublet Boule. In other words, a sublet Illuminati person. He's only the dog on the chain that protects the house.
Right. Yep.
The house is Baphomet. Jay-Z, and he was once a token owner of the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, Michael Jordan doesn't own the Charlotte Hornets. He is just the face, okay, of the Charlotte Hornets. Black people don't own anything. You got a lot of these R&B, these rap magazines, Double XL and Source and Vibe. Black people don't own those magazines. The Zionists own those magazines. In other words, the masters of the crab barrel in the Knights of the Round Table owned Black people. I hate to say it, man of God, but it's true. Going back before we get further into this. So then, I didn't mean to get off from Kobe Bryant and the coronavirus in the Vatican, but it all interconnects back to the Boule, who are the protectors of the global conspiracy of viruses, assassinations, coup d'etats. They protect their owners. And so then the Boule are the caretakers of the 1%, okay? And they only occupy the lower level of the Greek parliament today. They are the protectors who were selected, man of God, by the Luciferian oligarchs. They are chosen by the Rothschilds, by the Rockefellers, the Werbers, the Oppenheimers, the Harriman family. They are chosen, okay, to protect the system. And so then, as Boulets, they're selected by the Luciferian Black nobility. Now, also the Boulets are the Black nobility within Black America. Now, Black nobility means they are the upper class, what we call the Black bourgeoisie element of America, the 1/10 as described by John D. Rockefeller through W.E.B. Du Bois. So then Barack Obama was not elected. Barack Obama was selected. And that term selected comes from the Greek word sortition, capital S-O-R-T-I-T-I-O-N, selected. Now, do you understand? Oh, man of God, you got me so excited. So there's another Boule word that comes from a Hellenistic word, Bula, or Bulu, capital B-O-L-U. Now, Bulu, it means Black Friday. Oh my God, Black Friday. Now, Black Friday goes back into slavery. That every year, the day after Thanksgiving, slaves were sold at a discounted price.
Really?
Yes. So Bolu, capital B-O-L-U, means Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, where slaves were sold at a discounted price. Wow. And so many of the banks that we had on Wall Street were the practitioners, the progenitors. They were the ones that instituted slavery. They were not Republicans. They were people from the left. The KKK was not created by the Republican Party. It was created by the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give you another revelation. It's going to blow your mind before we get back to the Boule Secret Society and this Black Friday conspiracy. My friend, white people did not create the KKK. I got everyone's attention now. The KKK was not created by white people. The KKK was created by a man by the name of Judah P. Benjamin, along with his subordinate, Albert Pike. Judah P. Benjamin was a Zionist, a Khazarian, who was the Secretary of State in war for the Confederacy during the Civil War.
So Pike was just the face of it used for?
Yes. Pike was just the face of it, just like Jay-Z and was it Denzel Washington and Michael Jordan. So then Pike was just the face of the Klan, but he did not create the Klan. So Rothschild Khazarians created the Ku Klux Klan. Wow. It was not what, see, this is a lie that's been perpetuated by the Democrats since 1865. So 1865, and keep a mental paperclip, what we're talking about today, the Boule Secret Society, who are the black gatekeepers of a global Luciferian system. So when we go back between 1861 to 1865, the Civil War. Now, the Civil War was fought not because of slavery, okay? The Civil War was fought because of land. The land that was in the South had a lot of oil, but also it was fought so that the North can reconstruct the South to become a union. So black slaves were put on the front line who were to be prophetical Boules. In other words, they were the Boules before the Boules came into existence in 1904. Blacks who were enslaved in the South were put on the front lines to protect who? The Baphomet of the South. So in other words, when we talk about North and South, it's one snake that has two heads. You got North and you got the South. That's why I thank God for Donald J. Trump. He was not supported by the right Republican, nor by the left Democrat. So God has raised and anointed Donald J. Trump to be the Cyrus, Isaiah 45. Trump is the 45th president of the United States of America. He's also a type of a Jehu in 1 Kings, capital Jehu, the one who had destroyed Jezebel. And now Jezebel, Nancy the Ripper Pelosi, is going to be destroyed. So then God has anointed a man of God, Donald J. Trump, to destroy this python in America that has two heads, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, in order to bring back God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Lord Jesus Christ, to America. Oh man, God, this is some heavy stuff.
Yeah, I don't follow the politics stuff. I diverse from that because of you know how I have Trump connected to the Jesuits, the Zionists, and all of them. So I go a different way with that. That he's still in control of the oligarchy, even if God will use him. But I diverse from the man of God. I don't consider him the same. But you know, we have
and the thing is, as a minister, and he's not perfect, you know, and to everyone out there who are listening, Donald J. Trump is not perfect, but the reason why they want to bring him down because he's exposing this two-head snake. But getting back to the Boulets here. Now, this is interesting, and cut in any time, men of God. So then the Boulets select men who are called archons, right? Capital Archons. That's a Latin word meaning demon. So within the Byzantine Empire, there were every warlock who is a male witch was called archons. So Barack Obama is an archon. You know, Eric Holder, every black person of the black nobility is a archon. Okay. Now the women are the archias. They are the female priestess or the female demons. Okay. So then Boulets are called strategists. So they are the black gatekeepers of the Baphomet system. Now, it's very interesting, man of God. If I could just break this down further, that the term Boule and Archon, the male initiates means demon, and Archias is the female initiates into the Boule. Now, the term Archon is interconnected to the Greek word abraxas, capital Abraxas, which means abracadabra. Again, let me break this down again. So the high-ranking Boulais male is called Archon, which is interconnected to the Greek word abraxas, which means abracadabra. And that term abracadabra means, getting back to the altered state, like Kobe Bryant, that altered state of demonic consciousness. So then, as we're breaking down through meticulous scholarship today, men of God, the Boule Secret Society, who are the black gatekeepers of the Luciferian system, and this term abracadabra connected to Archon in Boule on the coin of the abracadabra system that's connected to the Templi Secret Society from Aleister Crowley, the Secrets of the Temple.
Okay.
It has a half male, half fish, or half female, half fish. That's the insignia on the Starbucks coffee cup.
Yeah, right. The siren.
Yes. So then in 1941, there was a Boule convention in Los Angeles at the Great Greek Amphitheater, Greek now, at Griffith Park. Now, Griffith Park was donated, I believe, around 3,000 acres, right? Going back, I believe, in the 1930s by a man by the name of Griffith J. Griffith, who was a part of a secret society called the Odd Fellows. Griffith J. Griffith, who was a 30th degree Mason within the secret English order of the Odd Fellows, that's out of England, which is an offshoot of the Scottish Rite Order. So they donate this land where the convention, my friend, of the Boulets take place. Now, who oversaw this convention? Dr. Emmett Scott. Dr. Emmett Scott was an assistant to Booker T. Washington of the Tuskegee Institute. Now, remember the Syphilis conspiracy, right? Of the Tuskegee University Syphilis conspiracy. So then Dr. Emmett Scott, along with Dr. Robert Moulton, wanted to create a syphilis contamination of 600 Black men and women to see how the anatomy of Black people will respond. Wait a minute now. Why would these two Black boulets inject their own people, and we talked about the coronavirus, with a disease to see how the anatomy of Black people would respond? In other words, the boulets not only protect the system, but they also protect the system by murdering their own people. Okay? So Dr. Emmett Scott, Dr. Robert Moulton was against Booker T. Washington. Why? Because Booker T. Washington in 1914 was against the conspiracy to bring about the testing of Black men and women with syphilis to see how the anatomy of Black people will respond. But you see, man of God, at the time, Booker T. Washington did not know that Dr. Emmett Scott Boulay and Dr. Robert Moulton Boulay was secretly working with President Woodrow Wilson. That in 1915, Booker T. Washington ends up dead. And during his autopsy, there were traces, massive traces, right, of syphilis in his body. Wait a minute now. How did Booker T. Washington get that? Very interesting. So then the Boulay Secret Society, they are the Black gatekeepers of the Luciferian global Illuminati system. So then the syphilis conspiracy lasted for 40 years, from 1932 to 1972. The question is, who subsidized the syphilis conspiracy? A man by the name of Julius Rosenwald, who was the creator and the founder of the Sears Roebuck Company. Julius Rosenwald gave $5 million to the Tuskegee Institute by lying to Booker T. Washington and said, I want this money to be used for education. Booker T. Washington trusted Dr. Emmett Scott and Dr. Robert Moulton to oversee the financial distribution of the money, but they used it to take out their mentor through a syphilis conspiracy and thereby to help the U.S. government, all right, Woodrow Wilson, really to genocide Black people. I guarantee you a lot of your listeners, they have never heard of this before. And so examine the book Tuskegee's Truths, Rethinking the Tuskegee Syphilis, a study. So anytime you got any questions, just jump right in, man of God. So
no, they don't infect us with man-made diseases. They don't deliberately do that, do they? They don't do that for one person, do they? No,
they don't do that. You see, and so you're going back to, and this is another topic for another day, the crack cocaine industry and also and AIDS, whatnot. So they don't do that. So the Boulay Secret Society, they also, assigned a Black Scientologist by the name of Donzella James. Now, in January 2020, she was and still is a state senator, a state legislator for the state of Georgia. She is a Boulay protector of the Church of Scientology. And so she was chosen by the lieutenant governor of the state of Georgia, Governor Jeff Duncan, Jeff, capital G-E-O-F-F Duncan, to be a part of a 24-member commission in order to remove, get this, the American Psychiatric Association and the American Psychological Association and government oversight of the state of Georgia in order to incorporate the Church of Scientology. To do what? To do the scientific arts of clearing. That's another topic for another day. So what I'm saying, man of God, that the Boulays are assigned to protect the system who hates them. Allow me to go a little bit further. I don't know if you heard of this African-American in history, Dr. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Now, Dr. Garvey, is the father of the Garveyites. Dr. Mosiah Garvey was a Jamaican of African-centric origin. who was born in Kingston, Jamaica, came to New York City, right, in the 1900s, and set up the United Negro Improvement Association. Now, at the time in the late 1900s, in the early, the late 1900s, right, in the early 1920s, Marcus Garvey was a threat to the order of the structure order of the United States government. Marcus Garvey, so you can just type him up, Marcus Garvey, who created the UNIA, the United Negro Improvement Association, had 1 million members around the world, Manica. Now, this was before the advent of television and before the advent of the internet. So Marcus Garvey, okay, a man from St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, came to the United States in the late 1900s, going into the early part of the 1920s, took over Black America. He was a threat. Why was he a threat? Because he was teaching Black people to be self-sustained, self-independent, okay? Marcus Garvey also traveled to Greenwood, Oklahoma in 1920. I was on a talk show, a podcast recently, a couple of weeks ago, on the Tinfoil Hat podcast out of Los Angeles, where I talked about the history of Black Wall Street, how Black Wall Street had a section called Millionaires Row, and then we still had a mental paperclip to the Black Boule Secret Society, as we're talking about. They are the gatekeepers, right, of the global Luciferian order. So Marcus Garvey traveled to Black Wall Street in 1920. There were multi-millionaires in Black Wall Street. There were millionaire bankers and doctors and dentists. There was a company that owned private jets by Black people in 1920. And we know that what happened the following year, it was decimated because of a lie. Now, let's get back to Garvey now. Marcus Garvey was neutralized by the United States government. Why? Because he was a threat. He was teaching Black people, don't depend on the system. Depend on God, right? And there's a lot of teachings about Garvey I disagree with, about going back to Africa. I don't subscribe to that, Brother Jim. Okay. But when I'm saying Marcus Garvey, who created the United Negro Improvement Association, which had a membership of over 1 million people, all right, all over the world. Now, between 1922 and 23, the Boule Secret Society, through Dr. Henry McKee Menton and Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois, was instructed by J. Edgar Hoover, who was the director of the Bureau of Investigation, which later became the Federal Bureau of Investigation in 1935. So the government used the Boules to neutralize Dr. Marcus Mosiah Garvey by putting out a lie, right, that he was stealing money, he was embezzling money, which was not true. And they put out a lie that he was connected and talked to the Ku Klux Klan, all right? So then that was a lie. Who put out that lie, okay? The Boule Secret Society. Who? A. Philip Randolph, Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois, Henry McKee Menton. They're being used to destroy their own people. Why? Because the Boules were teaching Black people to depend on the system. And Brother Jim, I'm not teaching black and white here today. What I'm dissecting for your listeners is a unknown secret society that's been in existence since 1904. So the Boules had neutralized Marcus Garvey by putting out lies that he was embezzling money, okay? Marcus Garvey had ships, the Black Star Line ships, but they were lying on Garvey, stating that he was embezzling money from the people and that he was connected to the KKK, which was a lie. So Garvey went to prison And then he was deported in November 1927. Why? Because of the Boule Secret Society, a part of the Pan-Hellenic Divine Nine. Okay? They were designed to neutralize Marcus Garvey. Now, when Marcus Garvey went to court, all right, in the late 1920s, he went to court. The judge that oversaw the case was a man by the name of Julian Mack, capital M-A-C-K. Julian Mack, his parents were Bavarian Jews. Again, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm just breaking this down to let you know how deep this Boule secret society goes. So then Judge Julian Mack, whose parents were Bavarian Jews, Julian Mack was a Khazarian Jew and a part of the New York City chapter of B'nai B'rith. Do you understand what I'm saying, brother? B'nai B'rith of the Anti-Defamation League.
Okay.
So, so then Julian Mack, who oversaw the case that convicted through lies, okay, by the government through the Boules about Garvey stealing money, okay, and being connected to the KKK, he was sent to prison for a few years and deported. Julian Mack, my friend, still talking about the Black Boule Secret Society, the Black gatekeepers of the Luciferian Order. Julian Mack was one of the founding fathers of the NAACP.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people didn't create the NAACP. The Zionists created the NAACP. Henry Moskowitz, a Romanian Jew, created the NAACP, including the Spingarn brothers. So Zionists created Black organizations, the NAACP, CORE, the Urban League, SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. It's all ran by Jewish money.
And even George Soros, the Zionist, that's funded and provoked the Black Lives Matter.
Yes. Oh my God. Brother Jim, I'm telling you, you are a gifted host, my friend. You're hitting nerves with me. He is funding the Black Lives Matter and also the Me Too movement. Why? Because George Soros is a social engineer. He is a practitioner of chaos theory. Now, remember the Brett Kavanaugh place, not to go all over the map and getting away from the Boules, but the Brett, and they picked, in other words, this Christine Blasey Ford, okay, whose father worked for the Central Intelligence Agency and her brother, a lawyer, worked for a law firm that was located in the same building as Fusion GPS, the Trump dossier. So Christine Blasey Ford, not to get away from the Boules, okay, she says, well, I don't remember how I got to the party. And I don't remember how I got home, but it was Brett Kavanaugh that raped me. Stop. That's a lie. So Christine Blasey Ford, a professor of psychology at Stanford University, and the Department of Psychology is funded with CIA money. So then the entire psyop of social engineering of the Knights of the Round Table, Rothschilds, Rockefeller, Warburg, Oppenheims, Forbes, DuPont, they control the masses of Black people through the Boule. And I got to say this as well. Julian Mack, that judge that was over the Marcus Mosiah Garvey case in the late 1920s, not only was he a part of B'nai B'rith, and then B'nai B'rith, and this is another topic for another day, and I don't want you guys to be writing, brother, dude, that saying Bishop is anti-Semitic. I am not. But as we go back into history concerning the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln, that was orchestrated by a man by the name of Simon Wolf, a high-level Masonic order, a 33 and 1/2 degree Scottish Rite Mason, who was also the attorney representing B'nai B'rith of the Anti-Defamation League, through Rothschild money, had assassinated Abraham Lincoln. Julian Mack, who oversaw the case concerning Marcus Garvey, was a part of the same organization, B'nai B'rith of the Anti-Defamation League. So the Anti-Defamation League has Jesse Jackson to protect it, Reverend Al Vitamin B Deficient Sharpen to protect it, Oprah Winfrey, she's a witch, okay, to protect it. All of these black millionaires, Michael Jordan protected it. Kobe Bryant did not want to protect it, so they took him out. All of these black millionaires, these rappers, okay, on these rap videos, in these mansions, they don't own the mansions, a man of God. So black people, the Boulets, protect the Baphomet system, okay? So this Judge Julian Mack was not only a member of B'nai B'rith, and I'm not anti-Semitic now. I'm a man of God that tells the truth, okay? But he was also a member, okay, of the Global Jewish Congress, the World Jewish Congress, that also had the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Warburgs, and the Bronfman family out of Seagram's Liquor out of Montreal, Canada. So then, because of the Boulay Secret Society, Dr. Henry McKee Minton, Dr. Robert Moulton, Emmett Scott, W.E.B. Du Bois, and can I say this too, man? If I'm going too fast, let me know, because I'm on another level here.
Just go with it.
So the Boulay Secret Society, they're instituted in the U.S. government, in politics, within the medical industry, through education, in the sports and entertainment complex. And so if your listeners get an opportunity, look at the tattoo on the chest of LeBron James. That's a Boulay Secret Society logo. So Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois was approached by Margaret Sanger in 1929. How do I establish the first eugenics clinic in Black America in Harlem, New York? What is the first step I must do, Dr. Du Bois? You know what he said? He told her, if you want to reach the masses of Black America, you first must target the Black pulpit.
Yep.
Because the Black pulpit, these Black Boulay preachers, 95% of the time, whatever they say from the pulpit, the people will follow. So why didn't she go to Hollywood and do this? Why didn't she go to Connecticut? Why didn't she go to Chicago? Okay. Why Harlem? So, note her father here. The father, oh God, I wish I had more time. The father of Margaret Sanger, okay, had a child outside of his marriage. Michael Hennessy, the father of Margaret Sanger, right, had a liaison with a Black female club dancer in Harlem, New York in the 1920s. Wait a minute now. And so then in 1916, the teenager Margaret Sanger, according to the records of the NYPD, there was a Black child, a girl in her room as a teenager that was dead. You see, Brother Duke, I did, man. This is wickedness. So this woman who had 3 children herself, 2 boys and a girl, but she didn't abort them, but she's telling Black people to abort their children. Why? Because she looked at us as weeds. So if I'm angry, it's a righteous indignation. Because these Black preachers, now who was involved in the conspiracy with Marcus Singer? And I'm still talking about the Black Boulay Secret Society, the Black gatekeepers of the global Luciferian system. Who was involved in the conspiracy to help Marcus Singer abort Black children? Dr. Adam Clayton Powell Sr., who was the pastor of one of the largest churches in America then, the Abyssinia Baptist Church, which still exists today in Harlem, and his son, who took it over, Adam Clayton Powell Jr. in 1937, who went on to be one of the first black congressmen within the House of Representatives. So who supported Margaret Sanger? Adam Clayton Powell Sr., Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Do you know Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. supported eugenics?
Oh, did he?
In 1966, Martin Luther King Jr. and Lyndon Baines Johnson, who ended up assassinating Dr. King 2 years ago, both received the Margaret Sanger Award. Wait a minute now. You're a preacher, but you for the genocide of your own people? So the Boulets protect the compound. The Boulets protect the house.
Even against their own people. Even
their own. Yes, go ahead, brother.
With no conscience of, there's a unity in that, in the community. And it's supposed to be this strong unity to keep everyone together, but they seem to have this subconscious to break from it, to give to the oligarchies and basically turn on their own people.
They turn on their own people. Now look at the interview, okay, that Gayle King gave the other day. Okay, she's interviewing Lisa Leslie, former WNBA player, asking Leslie about, did you know about Kobe's indiscretions, about his sexual life? The man is not even buried yet. We all know about the 2000, I believe, 13 case about Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry, the 2003 case. The 2003 case about Eagle, Colorado. We all know about that. But why is Gayle King defaming the legacy and the character of Kobe Bryant? Because she is subservient to her masters. And I'm not talking about white people. I am talking about the Baphomet system through the media, because the term media means medium or witch. Mediums are in the Bible. They're witches and warlocks. So this Gayle King, the lesbian lover of Oprah Winfrey, defaming, and that's why Snoop Dogg and all these people were upset with her. And I don't blame them. They're boulets, but they were upset with her. Why would you do this? His wife, Vanessa, is picking out caskets and coffins for her husband and for her baby girl. And she's talking to, see, this is why they were so angry. She's a boulet, Jim. She protects the system. They did the same thing to Michael Jackson. Talked about him like a dog, and he wasn't even buried yet. Mm-hmm. This is the reason why the boulets, let me just get gangster on you, man, God. The boulets are the house Negroes, as Malcolm X said. Mm-hmm. The boulets are the ones that protect the house, and they keep the masses of black people, the field Negroes, in check. Okay? This is the reason why Dave Chappelle left the system of the Baphomet. Why? You talked about the dress earlier in the first half of the broadcast. They wanted him to dress like a woman. He said, no.
I heard, yeah, that's the one I heard, I think. Yeah.
Remember? Yes. And then they talked about him like a dog when they said, well, he lost his mind.
Because he wouldn't dress in a dress. He lost his mind. Imagine that.
He lost his mind. You look at the psychology. You got young black people saying, well, somebody like Graham Hill, he's a sellout. Why? Because he's got two parents. And he's not black because, listen, see, do you understand the stupidity of the thinking of black people? Black people love unstableness. I'm talking not all black people. There's a majority coming up in one-parent homes. They think that's being black. No, that's unstableness.
Well, they're taught a fallacy. They're taught an indoctrination that's keeping them downtrodden purposely by their own gatekeepers.
Yes. Oh, man of God. There's a heavy anointing on your show today. They are taught the fallacy. I'm going to work 10 times harder, Bishop, because I'm a black woman. Stop. That's plantational thinking. Do you know, my friend, that Nike, half of their sales come from the psyop of a people who don't know who they are? 50%. I have a friend who works for the Nike division in Manhattan here. He says 50%, Bishop, and I won't name his name because I don't want him to lose his job. 50% of the gross domestic product sales of Nike worldwide is from a people who don't love who they are. They know what they are, but they don't know who they are. Because of the fallacy being taught by their gatekeepers. They're taught to the system, the white man is a devil, and the white is, but at the same time, these house Negroes, okay, Obama, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, they protect the system by defaming their own people. So this is the reason why, man of God, and forgive me for going so fast and giving so much information. And, you know, the Holy Spirit just told me stop apologizing. So this is the reason why Black America is in the condition that she's in. Okay? So the fallacy of free stuff, that's over. That's over. I keep telling Black people, the time of free stuff, that time is over. Why? Because I'm a teacher. I teach Black people come off of the plantation. Okay? Because these 5,000 members of the Black bourgeoisie, the Black nobility, called the Boule Secret Society, in the 9 demonic guards of Black fraternities who are assigned to each night of the round table. Wait a minute now. Why are they protecting this? The system can't protect themselves. Don't you know why they do this? Do you understand why the Luciferians do this? They know that if we don't have a Boule layer of protection, these Black people will begin to wake up and overtake us. That's what they're afraid of. And again, I'm not teaching a black and white gospel or a dogma or interpretation. My assignment today, ladies and gentlemen, it is to teach the Boule Secret Society, the Black elite, the Black nobility. They're the gatekeepers. They're the guardians of the Luciferian order. And anyone who bucks against the order is taken out. Who? Kobe Bryant. Who? Whitney Houston. They are taken out. Allow me to read something here, man of God, concerning one of the highest secret societies, right? The Theosophical Secret Society, including the Thelema Secret Society. It says a part of their manifesto. It says here that if no brother dies in the course of a year, that lodge sacrifice, and let me say this again. If a brother or sister who is designed to die in the course of a year, a lodge sacrifice has to be chosen. And if that person tries to hide, they will kill their family. In other words, Kobe Bryant knew he was going to die. I know that's a sick psychology. He wanted riches and power to the detriment of his life and his daughter's life. So then the Theosophical Secret Society and the Boule Secret Society, the initiate chosen for this honor would then drink a poison. We talked about poison, coronavirus, would drink a poison draught in order to complete the sacrificial act. In the case of their refusal, this could be accomplished at a distance by means of the dreaded, what they call topophone, capital T-E-P-A-P-H-O-N-E, which is a German word meaning to come down, the force down from the air. Oh, helicopter. A machine which, when coupled by remote control, can control a plane or a helicopter to kill anyone. Man, I got so that this is darkness is so sophisticated.
Somebody told me it's and part of what you're saying is it just fits along with the ritual. They will use something that is significant to the person, And somebody had told me that Kobe Bryant did I don't know if it was a commercial or a video where he threw a ball at a helicopter and blew it up.
Yes.
What a predictive program, huh?
Oh my God. And
they'll use that as a symbolic gesture.
My God. What you just, again, man, what you just said was so prolific. And
well, I don't have confirmation because I don't know what it is. Somebody had just told me about the when these people are offed, there's signs that they're offed. How they're signs when it's usually it's not a suicide, is when there's a symbolic gesture of something that they predicted themselves, almost connecting them with their death. Like in the case of Robin Williams and the hanging off the doorknob and certain things. Kobe Bryant supposedly had some video or I don't know if it was a commercial, where he threw a ball at a helicopter and it blew up.
Wow. That is powerful. And you know what? Again, Kobe was into this Kabbalistical philosophy. Now, even his logo, right? It's a 6-pointed hexagon. Okay. Now, the acronym for hexagon or hexagram is hex. That he who is cursed or accursed. Okay. So there's a difference between curse, accursed. Accursed means that person goes into another level of darkness and gains spiritual and financial power. So that 6-pointed hexagram of Kobe Bryant's insignia points to the Theosophical, right, secret society, and the Thelema secret society, and high-level dark arts. In other words, when you look at another Kobe logo of his academy, the Mamba Academy with the letter M with the snake or the serpent chewing its tail, okay, that is a high-level occultic symbol. So it is not by accident that Kobe chose the number 8 and the number 24. So 8 plus 24 equals what? 32. The first 32 degrees of the Masonic order, something has to be sacrificed in order to get into the 33rd degree.
Yeah.
So Kobe changed the number after his rape accusation in 2003. Man, God, this is powerful. He changes his number. But the question is, who got Kobe out of that mess? The same entity that got Kobe out of that mess was the same one who took him out. So then, when you look at another photo of Kobe with the wings behind him, he is called the god of Saturn and Osiris. One of his logos with the insignia, that 6-pointed hexagon, be ready when he strikes back. And the same entity that he used on the court to strike out his opponents was the same demonic entity that struck out the helicopter.
Wow. Let me brief people on the hexagram, how it goes back to Babylon. It goes back to the Kabbalah. In the hexagram itself is a symbolic 666 because the outer points, inner points, and the spaces. In the Kabbalah, what was he? You said something about the serpent.
With the black mamba, and you're talking about the
I just lost my train of thought, but you were talking about what you just said about Kobe, about something about you passed by a comment, and I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, and so his numbers 8 and 24 equals 32. Mm-hmm. So at the 32nd degree, to go into that 33rd degree is a protracted period of time where there has to be a sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. The hexagram is a symbol of conjuring demons and casting spells.
Oh my God.
It's a high satanic. It's one of the highest satanic ritualistic symbolic symbols. So,
see, and what you just said, man of God, was so powerful. Conjuring. So then, when Kobe had those knee problems and he had to go to Germany to get this type of surgery on his knees, he could play through pain because he had conjured up this high-ranking black Mambian, this Pythonian demon in him. And there were players right now in the NBA that said that he is not human. I guarantee you, man of God. So then, January the 26th, every January 26th, okay, is the day of what the Luciferian order calls the day of sacrifice. If you examine throughout history, according to the lunar calendar, the calendar that you and I go by is really not the true calendar or the time period. See, God doesn't go by time, God goes by seasons. This is not really 2020. That's another topic for another day. So then every January 26th, since the inception of the lunar calendar, there has been a sacrifice in history. Brother Jim, I'm going to sing you, after the broadcast, I'm going to sing you some information. Now, remember the book Moby Dick. Remember that book?
Mm-hmm.
Moby Dick, there are historical codes encoded in the book Moby Dick.
Of course, they do that with a lot of fiction.
Exactly. But what is so interesting in this book, the term Kobe is inserted. I saw this 3.5 years ago. I'll send it to you so that way you can share it with your audience. Now, was it by accident? I don't believe that. Now,
I remembered what I wanted to say about the hexagram, by the way. You mentioned something about Saturn. You crossed over about Saturn. You said something about Saturn. Okay. Hexagram is the 6-pointed star. It's also it also kind of relates to the 5-pointed star, but the 6-pointed star is related to Saturnalia and the star of Saturn. And if you see in Amos 5:26, it talks about the image of Molech, the star of Chiun. And if you interpret Chiun in the Hebrew, it's the Saturna. It's Saturn. So this is all related to sacrifice.
It's sacrifice, and you're not
Molech is sacrifice.
Saturn. Oh my! And Saturday, each day of the week is a name of a god in Greek mythology. Like February, Black History Month. So the system gives Black Americans, they choose the month for you, which is the shortest month of the year, February. It is named after a Greek entity, Phebrus, capital Ephebbrus, right, who was designed and looked at as a homosexual in Greek mythology. I kid you not.
Oh, really?
Yes, so Phebrus, and this is where we get the term Valentine's Day. Saint Valentine was a homosexual in the Catholic Church during the time of Constantine. That he used to go throughout the Roman Empire, true story, to give out his street address in the form of a card in order to solicit sex from men. This is where we get the term Valentine's Day's card. So the entire system of America, okay, months, holidays, years, is built upon the global manipulation of the system of what we call the matrix. That's another level. That's another topic for another day. And if I can just go down to another deeper level, man of God, and forgive me for taking so much time here. This is heavy here. There's such an anointing here. Is that when you remember, there's a horse race called the Belmont Stakes. You know, the creator of the Belmont Stakes was a slave owner, okay? August Belmont Schoenberg, a Zionist, never lynched his slaves. He was a slave owner here in New York. He used to burn his slaves at the stake. That's why he named the horse race the Belmont Stakes.
Oh, wow.
Right? That's why he named it the Belmont Stakes, because he used to burn his slaves at the stake. And I'm not anti-Jew now. And my listeners know this. My assignment is to decrypt the encryption of a global manipulating system that keeps the mass, not just Black people, all people in the state of ignorance at the bottom of this crab barrel. because the masters of the barrel are so wicked that they assign certain black people, the talented 10th, 1 out of 10 black people are assigned to oversee the crab system. Not just black people, my friend, black, white, brown, yellow, it doesn't matter. So then all of these entities are the creation of the Luciferian system to keep the masses on the plantation. I'm not talking about color now. And so they use the boulets. And can I just break this down even further? I had a question the other day from a pastor friend of mine from Rome, Italy, right? And he asked me, were there white boulets? Absolutely. Jack Greenberg was one of the first white boulets. Jack Greenberg was an attorney, right? Who was a close friend of Thurgood Marshall. He was he represented the Round Table for the Boule Thurgood Marshall to protect Jack Greenberg. Jack Greenberg in 1954, along with Thurgood Marshall, the Brown versus the Board of Education case at the Supreme Court. Jack Greenberg was a Boule and one of the founding fathers of the NAACP. The first 30 years of the NAACP, it was all controlled by Jews. Again, I'm not anti-Jewish. I just revealed the truth, and it's up to the listeners to come up with their proper conclusions. So every black organization is controlled by people who don't look like them. Every black television, BET, Viacom, all of them, they're not controlled by people. And again, I'm not teaching segregation, Brother Jim. My assignment is to reveal the consciousness in the cognitive processes of darkness, because I've been anointed to do that. So then, the Boule Sicker Society, the gatekeepers, 1904, May the 15th, 9 black men gave birth to the 9 divine black Greek letter Sicker Societies, which protect the 9 Knights of the Round Table, 9 families of the 13 families that control 99% of the world's wealth. Now, remember on that Boule logo that, that I was teaching you guys about, 45 minutes, an hour ago, of the half male, half female beast with its right arm or hand on the urn, right? Capital U-R-N, which they keep ashes of dead people. Now, if you look on that urn, it's a symbol of a wheel within the wheel within the wheel, which means darkness comes in layers. So then the Boule has different levels that protect each other in order to protect the layers of the global Illuminati system. Man of God, it has taken me 40 years to come up with this knowledge. So then my assignment, and I want to share this with you, Brother Jim. I was poisoned, right? Last February, last year. I was poisoned at a restaurant in Queens, New York. I'm not going to name the name of the restaurant because it's in litigation. But I was poisoned in a restaurant in the Jackson Heights area of Queens. And in my blood, the doctors found arsenic, thallium, and traces of rat poison.
Oh, really?
In my blood system, because I was teaching this Boule mess 2 days prior I went to that restaurant. I'm well known in New York City. So then I was spitting up green blood. Green, I kid you not, yellowish, greenish blood. I was rushed to the hospital. Okay, so my stomach pumped out. A few months later in June, I had a light stroke because of that condition. So then the cabal, the system tried to take me out. It was a warning, but I'm not going to stop. Now people say, are you afraid of death? No. I'd rather die on my feet, Brother Jim, than to live on my knees. If I'm going to die, I'm not going to die a punk. I'm going to die a man. And of course, I'm asking the Holy Spirit to protect me. So when I'm saying I'm exposing these devils called the Black Boule Secret Society. And I'm going to push these devils into hell as fast as I can. Do you understand, man of God, that the Boules, there was a nickname that the Boules called Marcus Garvey, the man that we talked about earlier in the broadcast. These black men was calling their brother, Marcus Garvey, a gorilla, a black gorilla. There was a man by the name of a powerful man beside Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. His name was Alain Locke, capital A-L-A-I-N Locke, capital L-O-C-K-E. He was the Black Cecil Rhodes Scholar. He was the first one who also publicly tried to neutralize Garvey by calling him a gorilla, a waste to our Black society. And he said, and I quote, "We hope the white man delivers calls. We crush a great black fame, but we know he'll deliver or our people will attack and plague us forevermore." What? They're attacking their own people. This is the psychology. This is the psyop of the black bourgeoisie, black nobility element of the black elite. They don't care. You would never see Michael Jordan come into Harlem. I said this last year on Crowdsource. I said Kobe Bryant would never come into Harlem. Kobe Bryant got cute. So what the system did, they set him up, okay, Eagle, Colorado, and they put him back in his place. Remember Michael Jordan? His father died. Interesting. Michael Jordan was supposed to throw game 6, okay? I kid you not. His job was he was supposed to expose, I believe, game 6. I can't believe they were playing against the Phoenix Suns, I believe. In I think it's the 1993 NBA World Championship. He didn't. A month later, they took out his father. It's a message by the system. Look at Bill Cosby. Remember the time that he wanted to buy NBC?
Yep.
They took out his son. See, man, and they knew Bill Cosby was a rapist, but the boule in the system protected him. And see, anytime they get upset with you, okay, they will expose you like Harvey Weinstein. They knew this man was a rapist. Then they exposed. So, in other words, the Boule Secret Society, they are the black gatekeepers. They are the protectors of the order. The Boules will protect the system at all costs. So Kobe was bucking against the system. In other words, Kobe said, "I'm not going to be buck broken anymore." And I'm not talking about something that's that's of a sexual nature. There was something. Kobe wanted to be a billionaire. And the system said, okay, then you have to give up something. Your daughter, your wife, see, that's the initiation process. So Kobe, and you talked about that 6-pointed hexagram. His logo says, "Be ready when he strikes back." So the same entity that altered his personality in him took him out. And the other 7 people were only collateral damage. So that helicopter came down at 180 miles an hour. What happened? Was an assassin on board? I know that sounds crazy to y'all. Was there a substance that was sprayed in the helicopter that made them to be discombobulated? Or was it remotely controlled, just like the planes during 9/11? Remember the X-Files TV show? Years ago, they were showing a simulation of a plane that was remotely controlled. Kobe Bryant was going to take high-tech pharmaceuticals to court, along with the Acorn Incorporated, along with John Kapoor, who's now in prison for 66 months because he was lacing his weight loss pills with opioid substances. Kobe was going to expose this. So Kobe said, if you don't allow me to have my nickname, I'm going to expose what you're doing. They took him out. Remember Paul Walker, the Fast and the Furious? Paul Walker had a charity, and forgive me, man of God, for going, seem like I'm going all over the map, but I'm going as the Spirit of the Lord leads me. And keep a mental paperclip there about the Black Secret Society, the Black Boulets, right? The gatekeepers of the Illuminati order. Vin Diesel, his co-star, is a Boule. Vin Diesel is a Boule.
Oh.
So then, Paul Walker had a charity that was connected to the Philippines. Now, remember, I believe the Philippines was hit by a hurricane or tsunami some years ago. And the relief effort through his charity, he thought that money was going towards the Filipino people. But it was being funneled by the Central Intelligence Agency and the Red Cross to inject the people, right, with substances that would not help them gain their health. That, you know, it's population control. He found this out. And they took him out. Oh, he was speedy. No. Man, I got this. These people are demonic. They don't care who you are. They would take you out. Okay. And this is the reason why. And man, I got, I would love to come back and start a series on Kobe Bryant. So then he's into this dark arts at a high level, man of God. He's into this Saturn. Okay. That means Saturday. Saturn also means Satan, Satan. He's into this. He's into blood ritualistic sacrifice, all of that. So then, when the same entity that got him out of the mess that he was in 2003 is the same entity that took him out. All right. So definitely, do you have any questions, man? I got there's a lot of information here today.
You're tying a lot of connections and a lot of things and showing us that there's an underlining layer to all the things we talk about on an avenue to a certain group that we haven't talked about here to know about. But there's layers that are controlling each group that are connected to the oligarchy. And in the last couple minutes that we have, if you could quickly tell your listeners and our listeners that this is not a means to rebel against people and rebel against society and say, we got to rebel, they're all evil. And especially if they're going to think that there's still a community out there after they're done that's supporting them, which there isn't. But as they're like now dangling for a connection and saying, well, who do we trust? Let's tell them who to trust. The only thing that brings us all into unity, you and I are brothers. They don't realize that.
No. See, that's the thing. You and I are brothers. Our hope and our rock is in the Lord Jesus Christ. Because when you look again, this Kobe Bryant, this tragedy, and because he got caught up in these arts, when you want to be a billionaire in Hollywood, there is a price you have to pay. You see, and we again in the Theosophical Secret Society, in the Thelema Secret Society, and even in the Boule, a part of the initiation process is not only having sex with a man with a man in a coffin, a woman with a woman. Sometimes one of the nicknames for the Boule Secret Society, they were called goat riders. What is a goat rider? That term goat riding is also in every facet of the global Masonic order. In the Scottish Rite Secret Society order, they have to have sex with a goat. I kid you not, Brother Duke. They have to commit bestiality. So goat riding, goat riders, even the deeper you go into the financial power base in the Illuminati structure, within Boules, they have to have sex with an animal or with the type of animal that they want to replicate.
Well, here is the connection. Boule is related to Baphomet, and Baphomet is the goat head with the female breasts and the male phallic and male and female, and it's known as the goat of Mendes, which in the Bible in Hebrew is Azazel, which is the scapegoat, and it goes back to the book of Enoch 1 that mentions one of the demonic fallen angels that taught men war and taught magic and taught sex rituals was Azazel. This all connects to the goat.
Oh, goodness. See, it all connects to the goat. You see, man of God, again, this goat writing, and many times, now we have to ask ourselves, did Kobe have, I know this sounds sick to the average listener, did he have sexual contact with the very same animal that he wanted to replicate? The higher that you want this money, there is a part of your soul that must be initiated, okay, with the initiation of that animal, where you and that animal become one. And after they had sex with that animal, they kill that animal, okay? They kill that animal in order for, once that animal is killed, the soulish area, the psychic of that animal is transferred into the man or the woman who had sex with that animal. I know this sounds sick to the average listener. And can I say this too, Brother Duke? And I do apologize for taking so much time. If your listeners get an opportunity, like I said, there is a secret society called ACOPE, capital ACOPE. Now, backwards, that's EPOCA. That's the book that Kobe wrote, capital EPOCA. And they even have a Twitter feed, right? I believe at ACOPE, ACOPE. The founding person, the woman that founded it, okay? With this woman was one of the first 33rd degree Masons from Latin America, okay? Her name was Concepcion Arano, capital CONCEPCION, Arano, capital ARENAL. Now, if you type in her name and go to Google Images, her left hand is inside of her jacket pocket.
Oh, the concealed hand.
Right. Yeah, the hidden hand, that's a Masonic order. Mm-hmm. So if the man or woman has their right hand in their pocket, that means that they are in right fellowship with the order. But if it's a left hand, just like this woman, it means that she's out of order. So then what Kobe wrote, okay, that's EPOCA, Ecroft, or Force Backwards, his book, he understood the warlock divinational teachings of this Concepcion Arano, who founded this ACOPE secret society. And her picture has her left hand inside of her jacket pocket. And so as we close out here today, this is some heavy stuff. So that's what Kobe knew about the history of this woman. So he inverts the words, encodes words to teach children how to conjure darkness, how to overcome injuries. In other words, we can teach you telekinesis. We can teach you automatic handwriting. That when you want to write a book in 1 hour, you can ask the demon of your choice to help you write a book. You understand? This is some heavy stuff. And so in this order, in my conclusion, each person within the Boule Secret Society is also assigned a demon helper. They are assigned a demon in the Hermetical order, okay? And that's another teaching for another day. So the more demons that a particular person has, the more access to riches and power. But what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? So, Brother Duke, thank you so much for allowing me to grace your show. as we dissect it for the past,
and bring all the symbolism and everything. Why don't you tell everybody where to find you and what you're working on?
Absolutely. I am the host of the nationally syndicated Global Spiritual Revolution Radio through the Life Radio Network on 92.9 FM, 1460 AM, every Tuesday and Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on LifeRadioNJ.com, LifeRadioNJ.com. I'm also the host of the internationally syndicated talk show, Global Spiritual Revolution Radio, on both the iHeartRadio Network and the iHeart Media Group here in New York City, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 7 p.m. on iHeart.
Okay, that was a long, intricate show. We had the graciousness of strange
Welcome
magic.
to the Veritas Forum. Engaging.
Oh, that's my other gauntlet clip I could unload on you. But I think this is a lot to digest, right? So earlier, strange magic, the wonderful strange magic. She asked me, do I agree with everything that he's spitting, right? And when you're dealing with this level of information, I mean, I can go in there and scrutinize, oh, he didn't get this quite right. Oh, he didn't get that quite right. But what you have to understand is he's able to introduce information for hours at a time, digging into people, places, times, events, and he's unmasking a huge Luciferian plot, which I've already covered. I went all into these details. Slightly different though. So although we can scrutinize specific things, his overall information is worth researching, is worth understanding. We certainly know that Hollywood elites are not operating Christianity. You can't possibly sit here and say that the Hollywood elites are practicing Christianity. Mm-mm. We call what Hollywood is doing the dark arts. This is why Snoop Dogg came out against Gayle, turned around and did an apology, and the following day dropped the Dorito commercial with Martha Stewart, and then appeared on Jada Smith's show at the Red Table. All these things have meanings. These people are paid to protect and defend. If Snoop Dogg came to the hood just trying to be an OG, even in his own neighborhood, he couldn't just sit there all day. Not based on his popularity. There are plenty of popular people I didn't see walking around in Los Angeles in the hood. It's just based on the aura and the energy that he is commanding. It will bring the danger too. Now, he can appear at a specific event on a specific day with 100 so-called ex-gangbangers and talk that talk. He can't just wander out into the abyss, get gobbled up and spit out the bones. That's another show. So once again, I'm opening the doors of your mind to see if you could wake up a little bit and understand the conscious community has told us Christianity enslaved you. Well, if Christianity enslaved you, why aren't they using Christianity to perform their dark art? Why is it that we could find various ideologies opposite Bible being propagated by Hollywood, the Democrats, Antifa? Is Antifa a Christian organization? Is Black Lives Matter a Christian organization? Who's enslaved? Black Lives Matter, the conscious community, or you sitting on the couch? It depends. Well, I appreciate the 10 likes, the 10 up likes. That's almost a record over here. You know. I got more for you. But for now, we're going to let it end right there.